Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Martina and together with me I have La Preziosa. Well, La Preziosa is the name I have given to my latest journal, and it is Italian and it means precious. And I think you already have an idea why I came up with this name, because already at the cover, on the cover, there is a lot going on, and I'm going to explain you a little bit more in detail. So maybe if you want, take a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, relax, and hopefully enjoy. So, well, there is a lot going on this cover, and you might not be surprised if I tell you, well, it took me quite some time to make it. And I have made it already some time ago, and then I didn't dare to work on it because I thought it's so special, it's so pretty, I don't dare to make a journal out of it. But now I did, and I'm going to show you. Well, but let me first take off the belt, which I just recently did as an additional beautification item, which is not really needed because it doesn't have any other function than just sitting there. But I thought it's nice, and I had a lot of fun making this little belt from various scraps which I had in my stash, sewing it on some piece of cotton, and then on the back side I have also covered with some cotton, and it looks so pretty, I think. And it was done, and it was not initially meant for this journal, but then I found out it has exactly the right circumference, so it had to go on. So, but I think also without this belt, this journal is pretty, maybe even more pretty, because you can see all the details in detail. Well, it took me some time to make it, and showing you all the things I did on the cover would already require an individual video, and I don't want to bore you with it. So, but you might want to see, I did a lot of crochet. I love to crochet, and I have also used a very vintage technique for some of the flowers. And the technique, for those of you who do crochet, you might have heard about Irish lace. It's a wonderful technique, and I applied it on some of the flowers which I've added here. Then I also made some roses from sari silk. I have sewn on various elements, pearls, beads, even I glued on even a seawater pearl. This is not a genuine pearl, but also some other elements. I have here this chain, Swarovski elements, you name it. There is a lot going on, and it's really, really 3D. And when you look at it like that, it's amazing. And I think the new owner of this journal already can explore a lot on the cover as such. But let's go on into the interior as well, because it's not only the exterior which is pretty, I think the interior is also quite nice. Well, I have added this coffee dyed lace on the edge of the cover, and I would like to add, because I've forgotten, the flowers which you see here. Most of them have been crocheted with really white cotton lace, cotton fiber, and then I applied several dyeing techniques. I used either coffee, avocado, tea, I think even a little bit of red wine on some of those. So it's really a lot of different steps which I applied. But let's go on with the interior. Well, she has an alligator mouth as usual, so I'm not going to excuse for that, because this is my style. And she has the following dimensions, the measurements. She comes with 21 centimeters, 14 centimeters, and a 6 centimeter spine. Inches, this means 8 1/4, 5 1/2, and 2 1/2 inch spine. And in total there are more than 150 pages back and front, and I haven't counted all these flips which I have included. And now let's go inside. Well, she is closed with a bow from sari silk, which needs, which is needed because, as I say, she has an alligator mouth. So when I open her, you see what will happen. Well, that's what happens. But don't mind. You can take off you can take off as many of the ephemera elements as you wish, and there are quite a few included. Yeah, so I have to hold it like this because otherwise it closes. So what you see here is, first of all, you have the view on this coffee dyed lace, which I have cut out from a tablecloth, from a vintage tablecloth, and I've, as I said, coffee dyed it. And then I have added here a kind of a flip out because I was in the mood of doing that, so that you can unfold it, and this is what we're going to do. It has been closed with a bow from chiffon. I'm opening it now, and then you can flip it up. And you see it flips like this, and it has another flip which you don't see, but I'm going to move it a little bit around. So, but let's do it like this. Here you see the first pocket, and in this pocket journaling card, many journaling cards in this journal, and all of them backed with packaging paper from various sources. Then one of my self-created tags, decoupage technique and varnishing and embossing and sitting in a lace pocket. So I open this one here. There is the chiffon trim to close it. And there's another pocket with two tiny journaling cards, very small ones, and also a little bit of lace. Upstairs, here there's a pocket with a butterfly journaling card. There is another pocket here with a bigger journaling card, sitting in this transparent pocket. Another side pocket here. The bluebird of happiness, hello Sarah, and a tiny journaling card sitting in this belly band. So you can close it like this, and then you have the view on the first pocket of the journal, and this sits on the journal cover, or the journal cover, and inside there are 3 journaling cards. This is a bigger one. This is the copy of an old postcard, and as I said, I made a copy of it, and it's a love theme which has been, and a poem which is written on there, and it's also backed with packaging paper. And this is something which I made recently by using magazine papers, gluing them together, embossing it, and then also adding some varnish. And you see the colors of this magazine papers, the pink and the green, and I think it looks really pretty. So, and this sits in this wonderful lace pocket. And I also want to draw your attention to the inside cover, because I have covered it with lace, and this lace was a present from my friend Tracy from the US. Hi Tracy. So put this back, close this, and let's start with the first of 5 signatures. So, of course, a lot of lace, a lot of ruffles, a lot of decoration. I cannot help it. This is my style. It's a feminine, opulent, playful style. And yeah, maybe at one point in time I'm going to do a little bit more grunge, but for the time being, it's just like that. So I have decorated the first signature with some lace, which stems from a t-shirt of mine, which I have cut out. And I think it has a wonderful rich dark red color, and it very nicely matches the roses on the opposite side. And then when you open it, then I've added a pocket from some cotton trim, and inside this pocket there is a self-created tag, and this is embossed. And then I added some gold wax, just in order to bring out the pattern, the rose pattern, a little bit more prominent. Then there is an old postcard. It's a business card, a business topic, and it comes from 1910. And I love the writing. Look at this wonderful handwriting. So this is inside here. And then I've also made some little stamps on some old paper, stenciling, stamping, and here a little bit of embossing. Just few additions. On the opposite side you see a pocket which has been formed, obviously from an envelope, because you see the window here. I have attached a butterfly, and inside this pocket there is a journaling card, and this journaling card shows a Victorian motif, and it also shows some Cupido, some angel of love. And on the back side I did some stenciling on coffee dyed paper. I also worked a little bit with modeling paste on some of the pages, and I did it here on some coffee dyed paper, and it gives a nice combination of this white modeling paste on this coffee dyed paper, which was originally pink, and it's still pink but a little bit darker, and I think it looks pretty. Here I have used some wallpaper, which I've decorated with 2 layers of lace, turned it into a pocket, and inside there is a little journaling card or a tag. And the back side is decorated with some digital paper. Many pockets, and in this pocket sits a motif from Alphonse Mucha, and I love it, and it's so romantic, and I love his drawings anyway. So it sits here, and this one has been decorated with some cotton lace in pink. Now we come to one of the first flip ups. You can flip it up like this. It has just a very nice motif. This rose in yellow colors. Love it. It's something different. And when you flip it up, then you see there is a pocket and another copy of one of those love postcards from the beginning of last century. And here did some stenciling. Here again I have used old paper, and this stems from the Opera Tosca, so it's a little bit of the content. I have coffee dyed it, I have color dyed it, I have stenciled it, and this is how it turned out, and I think it looks amazing. I love it. And you see it nicely matches the colors here. This is some craft paper with nice decoration. Again, some modeling paste, which I applied here using a rose motif. Here I did again some dyeing exercises on old paper which has been coffee dyed. This one here is eco dyed paper, showing the leaves. And then I also did what I love to do from time to time. I made these flip outs. And you see the back side of this eco dyed paper. And in this flip out I have attached a journaling card, which I have decorated with some sari silk and also some little bead. And you can keep it like this because it's additional decoration, or you can take it off. Little pocket, little tag, double pocket here, 2 tags, a longer one which has been decorated with a copy of an old fashion magazine, and this copy of this old fashion magazine also has a pocket. I haven't put anything inside, but you could. It sits in this side pocket here, and there's another tiny journaling card which sits in the upper side pocket. This is also vintage lace from a tablecloth, and this one is a little bit stubborn because it always, or a little bit shy because it always hides. So it looks nice. I think this is also crochet. This is just decoration, which I have not yet glued. This is the Tosca old music paper, or old paper. Another double pocket, which has been also decorated with some sari silk. And I love also this digital paper, which I've used to decorate the page. And inside another bluebird and another journaling card. I love the blue and I love the combination. And here again you have 2 things inside. On the opposite side, on the back side, journaling card on really pretty digital paper with a lot of motifs, lot of different things, and some scraps. Put it back. This one is design paper. You can flip it and behind it there's a pocket with a little journaling card. Then I've also used lace. I think on 2 occasions I have used lace to make a kind of a flip, and this is one of those journaling cards. Backside, another pocket formed from lace, and inside, of course, you know, peacock. There is the first peacock. There are some more, and it sits here and looks pretty. And another journaling card sitting in this cotton pocket, cotton trim pocket. Lace on the back side. This is a little bit more rustic, I would say, a little bit more, not so fine, but I love the combination of this. Here you have some lace pattern, and here you have the real lace. Yeah. Now we come to the second signature, and it starts with a really pretty digital paper, which has been decorated in tune with the design with laces in light green and in ivory. This is a butterfly which I have cut out. It's a die cut. I've embossed and stenciled it. And then I formed a pocket from one of those collector cards, cigarette cards, and turned this one into a pocket. And here there's a loose one, and it sits here. And I picked those two because they are so well in tune with the colors here. On this side you see some vellum paper with really, really pretty roses. And here, this is one of my dyeing exercises, and I think this one turned out especially pretty because, again, it's coffee dyed paper. This paper was initially, I think, also pink, and then I applied, as I said, I coffee dyed it. Then once it was dried, I applied the color pigments and the stencil pattern, so that it turned out in this really, really pretty design. And I dried it in sunlight, in really bright sunlight, and this really made the pattern stand out so prominently. This is nice paper, stenciled and stamped on the back side. Another ruffle from pretty cotton, really nice. Side pocket, and inside journaling cards. I have a lot of rose motifs. I used a lot of rose motifs in this journal because I love roses, and I think they so nicely and so well match the whole theme, the whole atmosphere of this journal, the whole vibe. And again here, you see this really pretty journaling card sitting in this pocket there. And here again some modeling paste on paperback, which is coffee dyed and color dyed, you know it already, and inside journaling card. This one here is a copy of a fashion magazine from end of 18 something, I think 1890 or so. I have made a copy, as I said. I have coffee dyed it, and I have sewn around just for further decoration. And here's some special paper which is decorated with some lace and some flower. Again stenciling here, some lace over there. And when you open it like this, then you see here on this side, you see I have attached a bookmark, which I have on the back side. I have covered with sari silk, and I've added this tassel and the beads. And I've attached it with this, what is this? With this paper clip. Initially I wanted to make a button, and I made a button, a loop for the button, but then I thought it's easier to use this, or it's more easier to maneuver it if you have it attached with this paper clip, and it looks like this. And this is a wonderful picture, and it stems from a decorative book, and I've used some of the pictures already. I think now they are gone, and this shows a wonderful potpourri of different arrangements, flower arrangements, some old hat, and some other things. Really, really pretty, and I love the colors. They are so well in tune with this pink over there. And then here I've added another paper clip which I made, and it's pieces of the elements which I've also used for decorating the cover of this journal. And here I just did some stamping. And then from this, what you have seen before, this is the copy of this fashion magazine, and I've made a pocket out of it. And inside this pocket I have added a wonderful postcard which has been given to me by my friend Pam from the US, and it's really, really nice. And it's Reims, and Reims is in France, and maybe you know Reims is also very famous for champagne. So, and I think it perfectly matches here. Again, the paper bag, and inside the paper bag another journaling card. Then I've also used from this really old book from, I don't know, 1880 or something like this. I've cut out some of the pretty graphics, and these are little kids and a cat, and it's so romantic, and I've applied it, or I've glued it on this page, which I've also stenciled with or stamped with some scripts. This is rice paper which I made from napkin, and I've glued it on here, and it has a very different touch versus typical, how to say, decoupage. It has it's more gluey, but it doesn't stick. Another pocket here, and the picture of a lady. Another pocket here with some lace and a rose. And here I have just clipped on another journaling card with this hard clip, and you can take it off if you want, of course. And this is the other side of this really pretty stenciling result. Vellum, another pocket, inside this pocket another journaling card. And the peacock, yes, peacock number 2. So, and this was signature number 2, and now we come to signature number 3. And this one has been wrapped with this motif, and I've applied some embossing with embossing powder, some embossing decorations over here, and I think it gives it another precious look. I have further covered it on the back side with something which stems from a book interior, but I love the colors, I love the roses, and I've used it to turn it into pockets, and inside there are 2 tags or journaling cards. The signature number 3 starts with design paper or with digital paper, which has been decorated with 3 layers, this trim, this lace, and this velvet. And it's all very nicely matching the color scheme. This is another peacock, as you can obviously recognize, and this is also a very pretty one. And it sits in this side pocket which I formed from digital paper. What I did here is, you can see I have again colored a piece of paper, and I used brusho pigments here. And then I've also applied this really pretty light paper, which was also given to me. And I love the motif so much, and it looks really, really pretty here. Another vellum. Another element from this book I mentioned before. This book with Victorian themes. And I turned it into a pocket, and in this pocket there is another love card, but this time, and this was one which has been gifted to me, this one it's original, and this time it also has writing on the back side. So isn't it nice? And I think it's perfect over here because you have the heart and you have this romantic vibe. The back side has been covered with some digital paper, and here there is another pocket with this transparent fabric, and another Victorian angel of love motif. Stamping, journaling card showing 2 Victorian ladies, and a tag which I created by applying different scraps of fabric on this black tag, and I think it looks really precious because of the gold elements. And here a very, very tiny lace side pocket here, longer journaling card, and also an original postcard from 1913. It's also a business card, but again I love the handwriting, and I also love that it says Bayern. So this was a time when Germany was still divided in different regions, and each region obviously had their own post stamps. So this is Bayern, Bavaria. So I hope I can get it back. Yes. Again, I did modeling paste exercise on dictionary paper, Latin, German. Lace, center point, center point. And inside this is a card from the Victoria Albert Museum featuring William Morris designs, and it sits here next to the butterflies. Light stenciling over there. You see this is also stenciled coffee dyed paper, and here I did some further stenciling. This came out very nicely, I think, for my coffee dyeing exercise, and I further decorated it with some sari silk. This is what I mentioned before. This stems from this old book with poems, and it says "Good night, chosen angel." And I kept the poem on the back side because it has been made into a flip out, and behind it there is some pocket, and inside this pocket some flower card. This is a construction of different pockets. We have a pocket here, we have a pocket there, and you could also have a pocket here. The vellum paper, the brusho, and you see again this fine paper which I have applied here. You see the birds and the landscape, very pretty. So this was number 4. Now we come to number 3. Now we come to number 4, and number 4 has also been wrapped with some thing which I have collaged on an envelope, and I have backed the inside of this envelope with this paper which you've seen already here, and it looks really pretty, and it has this romantic vibe, as I mentioned, and we always have scraps inside, and it's just wrapped around. You see it's also here, and this is how it looks. And this is the beginning of number 4, and number 4 is also of course decorated with some pretty digital paper, and here is some cotton lace and some trim. This is a Victorian calling card and a bookmark. Can put it back like this. Again, dyeing exercise, and I love it because it turned out so nicely with this stencil which looks like a wall, and as I have applied the gold pigments, it gives this very shiny look. This is a little bit round, and I've added, for decoration purposes, I've added this I don't know, this is also handmade, but I don't know, it's tatting or something like this, how it's called correctly. And I cut it out, I've applied it here, I've sewn it on, and I have made a pocket out of it, and there is a journaling card, and there is also one of my self-created tags, as you can see. This is another flip out from with lace, so I've applied it here. I think it looks, it makes it a little bit more darker because it's black, and you can flip it like this, then you see the wonderful picture here, and you can also flip it, like this. Again, I've used this really pretty paper to decorate the inside, and here there is a Valentine verse. And this also stems from this book where I have used several elements in this journal already. So, again, craft paper. On the back side, a decoration from this different flower cards, collector cards, cigarette cards, you name it, and they were torn. And I've glued it in a way that you don't see the torn elements. But I think it looks nice, and it would be a pity, or it would be a shame just to throw them away. Stenciling, nice pocket, decorated with lace, 2 journaling cards. The center is kept clean, So really clean paper, nothing added. You can use it to write or to further decorate, up to you. Again, stenciling, pocket. This stems from an Indian trim and I love it. I love this wonderful pink and it looks so nice. It matches completely perfectly to this ruffle over there. What I've done here is a little bit tight. I've used some pretty digital paper. I have added something which I created from crumbling some paper together and adding gold wax and some other colors, and I turned it into a belly band, and inside there is an envelope which is also, as you can see, decorated with this really pretty paper. Inside this envelope there is an Ex Libris card, and the envelope has also been decorated with some lace here, some elements, some lace elements, and I hope I can get it back in. Yeah. Also from the book of the Victorian decoration elements, I've cut this out. I think it looks nice, and it's the home of another bookmark. And on the opposite side there is another side pocket, and inside this side pocket there is another of these really pretty original old postcards with writing on the backside, which has been gifted to me. And because it has these flowers, I found the equivalent flowers in my compilation of these collector cards, so I thought this is very pretty. This belongs together, and this one has been formed from some cutouts from wallpaper, and I think it perfectly matches the inside or the design of this one here. So this is exercise, dyeing exercise, as you can see, stenciling exercise. It's supposed to say Paris, and the green nicely matches the green over here. Isn't this pretty? And here we have a very, very nice ruffle trim, and on the back side I've used some cotton lace to form a pocket, and inside this pocket there is a strip of these wonderful, I'm so in love with these collector cards, and I've collected some of them in the meantime, because whenever I can get hold of them I get them, and they are so pretty. So it sits here. It has exactly the right format. I think so. I said so. Stay. And on the opposite side I have made a decoration of different laces and a bow, and you can flip it, and on the back side there is a side pocket. And look at this, doesn't it look nice? Oh, look at this, doesn't it look nice like that? Well, that's, yeah. And here another small pocket with some ephemera elements. Pretty lace, has been gifted to me, very nice. Here another pocket, journaling cards, craft paper, which I've decorated with this lace, and on the back side I've used this really, really pretty special paper, because it's so vibrant and it has this wonderful flowers. And then here, what I did here is I've applied modeling paste, colored modeling paste, because I added some acrylic paint to it, on coffee and color dyed paper, and then I also made the rims with a little pencil. I think it's something different versus what I usually do. And also look at the back side. Isn't it nice? Isn't this pink? This is so pretty. And this comes from my beloved book about Ireland. So many nice pictures, coffee dyed and stenciled. You can see the light stenciling here. This is again a page which has been lightly stenciled. This is again a color exercise. Decoration over here. Plain, to write, to decorate, to do whatever. A little bit of stenciling here. This is this Irish book, and you can see the stenciling there. And here this also turned out very nicely, I think, with this rose motifs. And here I've added this lace, and this lace is also a little bit fraying, which I love. Craft paper. This is again from the rice paper exercise which I did. Another three not try pocket with 3 compartments. This one here with pretty lace, this one there, and this one here. And now we come to the last flip out. Again, this is this one, which I love to do. And here I've made a ruffle from some material, forgotten the name. Again, you can take it out like this. And now we are at the end, and at the last page, what you see here is another self-created tag with this decoupaging exercise. I put it here in the side pocket, so you can have it like this. And here is another Angel of Love, Cupido, Victorian card sitting here. Yeah, La Preziosa. I hope you liked what you saw. Yeah, as I said, I didn't dare to start the journal for some time because the cover was done. It was sitting on my cupboard, and I just didn't dare. But now I did, and I'm happy with the outcome. I hope you are as well. I hope you also like the belt. And if you like what you have seen, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, buy the journal, and I hope to see you soon. This was Martina. Bye bye. Have a nice day.